I've been meaning to share this spine-chilling story from my backpacking days in Europe. A couple of years back, I ended up in a small hostel in Budapest with some friendly faces, cheap beds, you know the deal. Now, the room was pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Just your usual bunk beds and backpacks strewn about. I was sharing it with 3 other travelers. Jack, the Aussie dude always wearing a hat. Lisa, a solo traveler from Canada who was into photography, always snapping pics. And Andre, a quiet guy from Russia who kept to himself most of the time. The first night was pretty standard. Just your usual hostel sounds. People snoring, footsteps in the hall. Nothing out of the ordinary. But things got weird on the second night when I woke up around 3 a.m. to find Jack standing by the window, staring out into the darkness. He grumbled something about hearing strange noises outside, but I didn't pay much notice to him, as it seemed that he was just tired. But things became ridiculous when the next night, Lisa woke me up asking if I heard any whispers. She said she could hear people talking inside the room, but when she looked, no one was there. Andre, on the other hand, claimed he saw strange things moving in the corners of the room. We laughed it off, blamed it on hostile delusions or something like that. But then things took a turn, a twist in our ordinary nights. One night, Jack woke us up. He was sweating like he'd seen something out of the ordinary. He said he had a vivid dream about a door in the room. At this, all 3 of us laughed at him, claiming that every room has a door. But just then, Jack interrupted, saying that he had seen a door that shouldn't be there. Just then, Lisa recalled that she too had the exact same dream. Both Jack and Lisa described the door in the same spot, with some strange symbols on it. Curiosity got the better of us and we decided to investigate. We started to move the bunk beds around, searching for that unusual door. And to our surprise, there was a door behind one of them. Old, wooden, with those same symbols. We hesitated, thinking maybe it led to an old storage room or something. We opened the door, and it was just a storage space, dusty and filled with old furniture. We laughed off the tension, thinking we had solved the mystery, but that night, things got even weirder. At midnight, I woke up to the unsettling sound of knocking. It wasn't a casual noise, it was persistent, rhythmic, like someone desperately trying to communicate. At first, I thought it was someone at the door, but the knocking seemed to be coming from inside the room. Jack, Lisa, and Andre were all fast asleep. Intrigued and disturbed, I couldn't ignore it. I followed the sound, and it led me back to that damn storage room. As I opened the door, the knocking stopped. I thought it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But then I noticed something odd. The room was different. The furniture was gone, and there was a mirror on the wall. I stared at it, and my reflection did something strange. It smiled, but I didn't. I slammed the door shut, waking up the others. They thought I was nuts, but I made them check the room. This time it was back to being a storage space just like before. We couldn't explain it. Rather, decided to leave the door untouched, thinking that maybe opening it might cause some trouble. But even though we made that choice, the knocking kept happening every single night, making the room feel weird with its continuous and strange sound. One night, unable to take it anymore, we opened the door again. This time, there was a hallway on the other side stretching into darkness. The knocking was louder. We hesitated, but Lisa stepped through. The rest of us followed, and the door slammed shut behind us. We found ourselves in this strange place, nothing like the hostel. The air was cold and the walls seemed to breathe. We walked for what felt like hours, encountering crazy sights and sounds. Finally, we found a door that led us back to our room. But here's the main surprise. The room was different. The furniture had changed and the mirror was gone. We were stuck in some twisted loop, unable to escape. We've been here for months now, and every time we open that door, things change. I don't know if we'll ever find our way back to the real world. I've got this weird incident from my time in a sketchy hostel that I've got to spill. Picture this, a rundown place with flickering lights, worn-out carpets, and a vibe that makes your skin crawl. Now, let me take you through the events, and trust me, they'll leave you questioning reality. So there I was, sharing a room with this guy named Ryan. Seemed like an ordinary dude, quiet and all. Our room was on the second floor, at the far end of this narrow hallway that seemed to stretch on forever. Every night, the place seemed to give some unusual vibes, but nothing too spooky. Just your regular weird hostel atmosphere. Now things started getting weird when Ryan began acting off. Not the usual odd roommate stuff, but he'd stay up all night, eyes glued to the window like he was waiting for something. Got me wondering what the heck was going on. One night, curiosity got the best of me, and I asked him what the deal was. He spilled about the recurring dream he had. In it, he'd find himself in the maze-like corridor of the hostel, with strange symbols on the walls. At the end of the maze, there was this strange puzzle like something out of an escape room. The craziest part? I started having the same dream. Every night, it felt like I was getting closer to solving the puzzle. But when I asked around, nobody else had these dreams. It was like we were stuck in some twisted version of reality. One night, Ryan vanished. Just like that, gone without a trace. I tried to figure out if he was out or something, but till the next day, no sign of him. When I asked around, people acted like they never heard of a guy named Ryan. Now that's when things got downright chilling. The dream persisted, and I kept getting closer to solving the puzzle. It felt like something important was waiting for me on the other side. But the more I dug into it, the more the hostel seemed to shift, like it had a secret of its own. Finally, one night, I managed to crack the puzzle. The mysterious symbols led me to a forgotten utility room in the hostel, a place that had been sealed off for years. Dusty boxes were scattered around, and in the corner stood Ryan, looking as perplexed as I felt. He glanced at me with a mix of surprise and concern, saying, "You shouldn't have found this place." The room held old hostel records, fading photographs, and a collection of abandoned belongings. It was like a time capsule, preserving forgotten fragments of the hostel's history. Just as we started to piece together the room's significance, I abruptly woke up in my hostel bed. I realized it was all my dream, but the details of the discovery were still vivid. However, when I tried to locate Ryan and share the revelation, he was nowhere to be found. And as said earlier, no one other than me had any knowledge of him, as if he had never existed. So back to my college days, where I lived in this creaky old hostel. That felt like it had secrets hidden in every corner. I am an average student, messy room, surviving on instant noodles. And then there's Jake, my roommate, a guy who loved his guitar and never said no to a late-night snack. Our room was nothing fancy, just 2 beds, a couple of desks, and dim lighting that barely chased away the shadows. The walls were worn and the whole place had this musty smell. But you know, it was home. Now, everything started changing when Jake found an old key in the hostel's courtyard. It was rusty and looked like it hadn't seen the light of day in ages. Jake, being the curious guy, decided to keep it as some sort of weird souvenir. At first, things were normal. We joked about the key, wondering what mysterious door it might open. But then, one night, we heard about a series of strange incidents happening in the hostel. People reported missing belongings, weird shadows in the corridors, you know, the kind of stuff that sends shivers down your spine. One evening, Jake and I were in our room, chatting about the weird happenings. That's when he remembered the key. He pulled it out and we decided to investigate, thinking we'd get some kind of clue. We walked down the dimly lit corridor, feeling like amateur detectives on a mission. But back in our minds, the tension built up as we explored the hostel, knocking on doors, asking people about the missing items. No one had a clue, and the atmosphere grew more unsettling with every unanswered question. But the real shocker came when we reached the basement. In the dim light, we found a door that was locked. The lock seemed that it hadn't been opened for years. As soon as Jake connected the key with the age-old lock, the door opened with a strange creaking sound, and the air inside felt heavier. The room inside was freezing, filled with dusty old furniture and a peculiar ancient smell. We stumbled upon a stack of missing belongings, phones, wallets, even a laptop. Just as we were trying to process this weird discovery, the door slammed shut behind us. Panic set with both of us. We were trapped in that freezing room, and the atmosphere turned thick with an unsettling energy. It felt like the hostel itself was holding us captive. Desperation kicked in, and we searched for another way out. The room seemed to play tricks on us, with shadows moving in the corners and strange whispers echoing. But we pushed through and luckily found a hidden door that led us back to the basement hall. We emerged, disoriented and scared, carrying the mysteriously missing items. We returned those to their respective owners. The hostel, once filled with a sense of dread, suddenly felt lighter. We never understood what happened that night, but one thing was clear. That old key unlocked more than just a door. It unleashed a mystery that still haunts our memories.